only way you can stop this villain. I'm sick with it, with amoxicillin. I've been the illest, this ill kid, Operation Red. Though I never contemplated that. Then that's a wrap, turn your pages to 03. Chapter NYG's, Pants is my code D. No iron team, homie, picture me solo. See what happened to Tony, what he did to Manolo. Here go that New York Giant, back on it again. Seen with Wolverines and they wasn't from Michigan. Y'all listening, y'all can hear a lyrical street. Narcotics, raw dens. Rap don't work, find us in Tennessee. Looking for bucks, see if they still NYG.
We appeal to those that feel.
Practice freedom of speech and refuse to hold back. Hey, what you say?
NYG. We appeal to those that feel.
Practice freedom of speech and refuse to hold back. Hey, what you say?
NYG.
DJ Khaled.
Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is tonight is Doris Burke. The fans here in Detroit ready to cheer on their Pistons in this interconference matchup. A look at the opening lineup for the Houston Rockets. Harden and Ariza filling out the perimeter. Modiunas and Howard the post pair. And it's Beverly in at the point.
Guys, that time he went for the fancy finish for us there, man. That was sweet.
And continuing to expand his arsenal last season. Patrick Beverly, the guard for the Rockets. Career highs in assists and rebounds per game, and he's one of the smallest guys on the floor.
Yeah, and he's really working on the details of becoming a better playmaker, becoming a guy that has coaches trust him to handle the basketball in those crucial situations. Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
That's his first personal foul.
About a minute played so far here in the first. They get a hand on it. Ariza kicks to Modiunas. And here's Beverly. Pass to Modiunas. It's Ariza on the wing. 5 to shoot. Modiunas passes to Harden. Second shot opportunity. No good off the back of the rim.
You know, talking about Beverly, his wrist injury really changed things for the Rockets at the end of last season. Suddenly, 37-year-old Jason Terry had to take on big minutes at the point, and he was serviceable, but they missed Beverly's toughness on defense particularly.
And doing a great job here just stringing together solid possessions as they build that lead up.
I tell you, there's no substitute for consistency, Greg. You know that, I know it. You can stay in control of the game. They'll stay in control of it if they simply stay good with their execution of the game plan and don't waste any possession.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets.
And going back to the one thing with Patrick Beverly, his shot could still be more consistent. Last year, he was down in shooting averages across the board, including just 38% from the field. It makes it very difficult on your offense when you have an inability to space the floor.
Houston making a switch here. Smith has checked in. Houston moving the ball around. Good.
And, you know, it took them a while to get going, but they finally connected now on their fourth shot of the game.
Beverly against Jackson. Back to Drummond. Passes it to Jackson. And the shot falls short this time. Rockets trail by 5. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession. Just over 2.5 minutes played here so far in the first quarter. He feeds it to Caldwell Pope. Back to Jackson. Drummond a screen. Jackson misses.
That's exactly how you have to defend him. He's a guy that the D needs to be aware of at all times.
Harden outside. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Reaves the dishes to Smith. And they'll turn it over. Could not get off a shot before second violation. And a different look here for the Pistons. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Drummond. Tolliver comes in for Harris. Johnson, he's checked in for Morris. And Steve Blake is subbed in for Reggie Jackson. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
We know prior to last season, the Pistons handed the car keys over to Stan Van Gundy. He had some early hiccups, but overall, I think they're headed in the right direction. He's a proven winning coach in the NBA.
Michael Beasley, he's checked in for Houston. Well, with Coach Stan Van Gundy, it was a very successful first year in Detroit. He's a guy who's going to build around defense. That's been his MO.
And Van Gundy has always been a defensive first type guy, Kevin. I mean, the last 30 years, he has probably the best defensive efficiency for a career as a coach. And his teams always play with great emphasis on that side of the ball.
Houston making a switch here. Capella's checked in. When you think of James Harden, you don't think much about his athleticism. His strength, though, is exceptional for his position.
Yeah, I think that's his greatest attribute. His ball handling's good, but it's his strength. He's able to run through contact.
Now here's Harden. We've got 1:13 left in the first quarter. Here's Ariza. And it's off from three-point range.
And Harden able to get wherever he wants on the court. I mean, he can muscle you, but he's also got that Euro step and all those moves that just leave you in a dizzy.
Ariza kicks to Harden. The Rockets with another miss. Clock management. This is where they can get a 2-for-1.
And Kevin, every opportunity counts. And that lead pass allowed him to get straight to the rim unabated in stride. You know, and Harden, you think about how elusive he is, but at the same time, he's a guy that seeks contact. I mean, he'll entice the defender to try and reach in, and a master salesman when it comes to getting those refs to blow the whistle.
2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Here's Beverly. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Ariza outside.
Woo. Even when they're down, he's still looking to do the spectacular.
And we reached the end of the first quarter. It's Detroit up 5. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment. All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And what stands out to you from the Pistons so far in this one?
I just don't know that you're going to see a better quarter defensively than what we saw in the first.
Really a big part of why they're on top here. The defense has been on point.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter to play. And so in the game for the Rockets. Modiunas and Howard, the post pair. Terry is out there with Brewer. And it's Beasley in at the 3 slot. Brewer, the pass to Beasley. On the wing, Brewer. Three-pointer. Shot by Terry, no good. Pistons leading by 7.
And really, last season was one of improvement for the Pistons. They were able to shoot the ball better and better as the season wore on. Overall, they cut out the little mistakes that had bothered them back in 14.
Dishes at Modiunas. Fires from deep. Another miss by Houston. Here's Blake. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
That's his first personal foul.
And, you know, Steve Blake, a veteran presence who has been around the block a few times. He's been on several teams, played in several schemes and systems throughout his career. He's seen everything you could try to throw at him on the floor. He's a consummate pro.
Daniels, he's checked in for Michael Beasley. And going back to Steve Blake, really didn't see much playing time after being traded to the Warriors last season. Of course, with Steph Curry and Sean Livingston ahead of you, you're going to not see a lot of minutes. Blake really just became probably more of an insurance policy.
And Blake's minutes, as you mentioned, Kevin, were down last season, but he was still that seasoned point man you'd love to have on your roster in case you got to cash in that insurance.
Now a timeout called by Houston. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game, and that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated. I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
Yeah, but he was late to get there, Greg, so the referee couldn't give him a free pass on that one.
And Caldwell Pope gets the basket.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
You know what? A low percentage pass on that one, but sometimes it's worth the risk.
Well, that time the risk did not pay off because it was well defended.
Now, here is Harden. Just 5 to shoot to end the run. There we go. Now in the scoring column with that make, he is 1 for 4.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need one.
Jackson drives in. And here comes Harden, leading the fast break. Outside Jackson. Morris, left side. Wide open look. And Detroit again with the bucket. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for the Pistons.
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers and forcing turnovers.
They also came out of the locker room with their running shoes on. I mean, their transition game has been full throttle.
And started hot, and he's only gotten hotter.
Jackson dishes to Drummond.
Andre Drummond is a big guy. At the NBA Draft Combine, he measures 7 feet tall with a 7'7" wingspan. And he tipped the scales at 280 pounds. That's a super heavyweight, my friends.
So for the Pistons, Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Tobias Harris. And it's Johnson in for Morris. Houston also making some changes. Capella's checked in. And Trevor Ariza has subbed in for KJ McDaniels. It's Jackson with the drive. And the shot is good. And it's 6 points here for Drummond.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
That's right. 5 of their last 6 makes were on the interior. They've established their inside presence.
And Beverly kicks to Capella. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. Well, looking back on last season, you didn't know where the Rockets would end up in terms of seeding in the playoffs. Ended up with the 2 seed because they won the Southwest Division. And as it turned out, everything worked out very well for them.
It really did, and had a divisional matchup in that first round against the Mavs. But the Rockets took care of business in that series and would advance.
Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Andre Drummond.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too. And, you know, for the Rockets, they had a major gut check in the second round. Went down 3-1 against the Clippers. Came back to win the series in 7, including Game 6, when I dozed off when they were trailing by 19 in the 4th and was shocked to wake up in the morning and see they had forced the 7th game.
Shot clock at 5. Here's Beverly. The Rockets again can't hit.
Great looking defense, really, just to disrupt the rhythm on that shot.
Yeah, really turned it from a simple, straightforward look into a very difficult shot.
And the Pistons making a change here. Blake's checked in. And a switch here also for Houston. Beasley's checked in. That's good.
And with the Rockets last postseason, their trip to the conference finals was as far as they would go. Went out to the Warriors in 5 games. Most of them, though, close ones. I think most fans were pleased with how far the team went last year in spite of all the injuries.
There's the pick from 11 feet away. And here we go. Here's Harden. That's good. Harden's got 8 points in the quarter.
Terrific job on both ends of that sequence. Very slick steal and then excellent transition offense.
And really, it all stems from the aggressive defense. That's exactly what the...
And so that brings the first half to a close. Pistons lead by 6. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from the Palace of Auburn Hills. And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. One of the stories here, James Harden getting it done today.
I know we've said this many times before, but what a great first half. Just an offensive juggernaut.
And, you know, in the end, I wouldn't be surprised if we're talking about what a great second half he had, guys. I mean, he can usually keep it going for all 4 quarters.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball.
We watched a great quarter by Harden. He's got 10 points, and he's picked up 6 points from behind the arc.
I love the rhythm his outside stroke has produced today.
Jackson and Caldwell Pope, the guards. Andre Drummond is out there with Harris. And it's Morris in the small forward position. That's the group starting the second half for Stan Van Gundy. Pulls up, high post, and it comes off the front of the rim. And for Tobias Harris, a resurgence of sorts last season, Clark, especially from behind the arc, where he shot a career high 36%.
You know, he'd only hit 25% from three the year before, Kevin. So, yeah, monster improvement in accuracy from long range.
Second half rolling along now. About a minute played here. Here's Moniunas for the lead. And the layup is up and in. And the Rockets lead by 1. Well, and guys, before last season, Trevor Ariza signing a 4-year, $32 million deal with the Rockets. Big free agent get for the team.
And, you know, they wanted to re-sign Chandler Parsons, Kevin, but with his departure, in comes Ariza, and Trevor is a quality replacement. I mean, a terrific wing defender, and he's a nice spot-up shooter as well.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here.
And, you know, you compare their games. Ariza a bit more limited maybe offensively than Parsons, a few years older, but he's also a better defender and also better at playing without the basketball. Remember, you got 5 guys out there, only 1 ball. Sometimes your chemistry can improve when a guy doesn't need the basketball to be effective.
And if you're just joining us, we played over a minute here in the third.
And, you know, for the Rockets, a nice pairing with James Harden and Trevor Ariza. Ariza, a spot-up shooter and defender, while Harden arguably the premier offensive creator in the league. I mean, they really complement each other well.
He is an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
You know, he picks the simple one-handed stuff to get the 2 points.
Yeah, and in a close game, though, guys, those could be really important points.
Well, they certainly didn't have much of a problem getting the ball into the post that time.
Yeah, and that's important because this game may ultimately come down to which team controls the paint in crunch time.
To the paint. Here's Howard. The shot is off. And the Pistons now going the other way.
Can't connect there, but still a red-hot start to the half, hitting 4 of their first 5 field goal attempts.
Clark, third quarter here, and 5 lead changes so far.
Yeah, it's really been a bit of a tug-of-war. Back and forth we go.
And, guys, neither team has been able to pull away.
Outside Jackson. Here's Drummond. Got a hand on it. And it's Houston on the break. And it's Harden slamming it down.
Talk about putting something extra on it. That dunk was way over the top.
Close game or not, Clark, you know, he's going to finish firm when he gets the space.
I'm startled that he would even try something like that at this stage of the game.
6 on the shot clock. Detroit needs to get off a shot. Puts it up and misses it off the right side of the rim. Detroit had a hard time making shots consistently last season. Clark, not a good shooting team from the floor, and of course that's in this league it's going to kill you.
Yeah, it really will. I mean, at one point last year, Kevin, 3 of their 5 starters were in the bottom 10 in terms of players' field goal percentage. I mean, hard to win any game that way.
Howard tries in. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
And the Pistons would finish in the bottom 3 in terms of team shooting last year. But for the most part, their shooting did improve over the course of the season.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Andre Drummond. Tolliver comes in for Harris. Johnson, he's checked in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And Steve Blake is subbed in for Reggie Jackson. McDaniels passes to Howard. Terry in the corner. That's good. And so Howard with the assist. Terry's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
And, you know, for the Pistons, they really had nowhere to go but up. I mean, shooting under 43% as a team is more than worrisome. I mean, it's something they'll have to drastically improve going forward.
a chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. Johnson with it. And Terry picks him up defensively. Blake dishes to Johnson. Shoots the three. The shot is off. Good work defensively by Terry. And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back. And the Rockets making a change here. Capella's checked in. Here's Houston now. They're on a 19-6 run. There's the pick. Terry kicks to Capella. Cuts off the pass. It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. The pass to Blake. Kicks it to Baines. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Terry against Johnson. Feeds to McDaniels. He kicks it to Terry. Launches a three. And the whistle blows, and it's going to be an over-the-back call here.
Yeah, not afraid of the physical play, but he still needs to stay under control.
Yeah, he obviously was not under control right there. Not much doubt he was going to get whistled for the over-the-back call.
No good on the second free throw. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Rockets ahead as they end the third quarter with an energy burst, a 19-6 run. And time for the short break, and stay right where you are. The fourth quarter is coming up next. Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play should begin momentarily. And so in the game for the Rockets. Everly and Harden, they're the backcourt. Trevor Ariza out there with Beasley. And it's Moniunas in the center position.
That is a very low percentage shot, Kevin, but it's the result they were looking for at the end of the day.
Harden, no good.
Usually if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. The defense stood tall there.
And guys, this game won't be close for long if they keep giving up dunks like that.
No, it won't, G.A. You're right. A glaring error defensively and letting him get all the way to the basket that time.
But it's only 2 points. I mean, it was flashy, no doubt, but still, it only counts for 2. 2 is all. You know, it's really going to be all about hard work from this point on. And they worked hard to create that high-quality shot right there.
No question. That's their goal down the stretch here. I think finding those close-range rhythm shots.
And Morris throws it down.
A forceful finish from the big fella.
Well, with a player for that size, you'd think he'd make the highlight reel more often.
Yeah, you know, he just appears to lack an edge at times in this game. I mean, he can be too passive and reluctant on the court.
Timeout called, the Rockets.
And guys, when you go to look for holes in the game of Tobias Harris, there really aren't any. One of the hardest workers in our league. If he has any weakness at all, it's his average size speed combo, which most likely will keep him from becoming the perennial all-star type.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Yes, guys, over that break, I was able to catch the message Houston's coach was giving to his team. He said, we are this close to finishing them off, but the job is not done yet, and I don't want to see any let-up out there. We'll see how well his point got across, guys.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Howard comes in for Moniunas, and it's Josh Smith in for Michael Beasley. And here comes Harden, leading the fast break. On the topic of Tobias Harris, you love that he can contribute in every category of play. He's a solid face-up shooter. Clark, he's getting better with his back to the basket. You can see movement forward all the time.
I love what this young man has shown thus far. You mentioned those things he does. He'll also rebound for you, get loose balls. He does the little things, understands what it takes to win, the consummate pro and team player. Right back to the basics there, using the one-hand slam for that.
Doesn't he make the basics look pretty exceptional?
Yeah, he does. They look sweet when he does them.
And they better stay with those basics because this game is still yet to be determined.
Pistons trail by 3. Caldwell Pope passes to Drummond. And we're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter now. Morris. That one a little long.
The defense better not make a habit of giving him that shot. I mean, he doesn't miss many of them.
Screen by Smith. Harden dishes to Smith. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
And tired legs affect you at the defensive end first, and that's what we're seeing here.
You called it, Greg. As much offense as we saw early, we're seeing even more of it here late.
The dish to Harris. Jackson kicks to Morris. Again, the miss by Morris.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
And Jackson with the block. And now the Pistons fast break. Morris with the bucket.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
5 straight baskets, Greg, resulting from assists. They're playing as one unit out there.
Beverly, the pass to Smith. Worked down low that time, and he got the 3-second call.
And those are the kinds of mistakes that are magnified when we're talking about a game down the stretch.
Johnson, he's checked in for Marcus Morris. Michael Beasley, he's checked in for the Rockets.
It just hasn't been a very good day for him, guys. They need him to start burying some of those.
Caldwell Pope pushes to Drummond.
Drummond having a terrific game. 8 rebounds and a steal.
And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Rockets.
Defensively, they played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggressiveness.
And, guys, the thing that jumps out at me is their block shots. I mean, they're playing up on the shooters tightly, and then they're sending them packing. I mean, putting those shots in reverse, all in a clear, good day's work.
And it looks like they left their defensive effort back in the locker room, guys. They just haven't had the same commitment here defensively in the second half.
Jackson kicks to Drummond. Nice ball boomered by Detroit. But he stays with it. Johnson outside. At the elbow, it's Drummond. It's good. And now they trail by just 4.
Loose D here. Critical stretch. I mean, you better off sending them to the free throw lines than to have them get that good a look.
And it's contagious. Caldwell Pope with the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. And the Rockets with possession here. First free throw is good, and that puts them up by 5. So he gets them both, and it's a 6-point ball game.
Yes, showing off a really smooth stroke there, and that will add to their lead.
And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up.
Second team foul.
Good on the first, and that brings them within 5.
Shooting free throws.
And both free throws good for Drummond. There's 38 seconds left in the fourth quarter. It's Harden with the truth. Oh! Just floating to the rim on that slam.
Boy, when he gets up and stays up.
Man, you could clock his hang time with an hourglass.
And they go to the intentional foul.
That's his second personal. Third team foul.
And the first of 2, no good. Heartbreaker. And the second of 2 is good. That makes it a 7-point lead. So it's Detroit now.
Not sure there's anything they can do to salvage this one.
Not anymore. I mean, any chance they had got away from them, slipped right out of their hand. Some of the shots he's taken have been real head scratchers. I mean, come on, he's out there playing like it's a game of horse at the park.
No choice but to foul there, but he's probably the last guy you want to see on the line.
But there was no time really to be selective. Stopping the clock was the priority.
And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 9-point ball game here.
Clutch free throws there. That should ensure they're going home with the W.
Over to the wing. McDaniels passes to Harden. And Reggie Bullock gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. And so he drops them both. It's a 9-point ball game here. Blake, that's for 2. Missed. So we see the Rockets get the win here. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, a pretty hostile environment.
It really was. You know, it's never going to be easy on the road, but they didn't have too many problems with that tonight.
And that'll wrap